Now, welcome to Omain Kron Kron Ghana. I am Ubunkuminkumanana Bediako-Poku. I am your Dean Crown Prince of Ghana, and I am your Falcon of Africa. Welcome to Omain Kron Kron Ghana once again. Now, today is 5th February 2025. Today the show is packed. We'll talk a bit about astrology, then we'll go geopolitical a bit and end up in Ghana. I hope you guys are doing well, man. Today, the show is in English, so we will do this and try and do this in 20 minutes. Then I've got so many things to do. So, astrologically, Venus entered Aries yesterday, which is 4th February, and Jupiter was stationed direct, which is 11 degrees of Gemini. And there are so many things that are happening. I don't want to go into astrology too much. Now, I am sending love and I am sending commiserations as well to my brothers and sisters in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Unfortunately, we as Africans, we have stopped learning. It's like we don't learn from our mistakes, and we keep repeating the same things over and over again. Because if you keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect a different result, then you must be an idiot to keep doing the same thing over and over again, right? Now, as I said, I'm sending love and commiserations to my brothers and sisters in the Democratic Republic of Congo, what they are going through. We or the youth, the African youth, and when I mean African youth, I'm talking about the diaspora and the continent. We know what you are going through, and we are standing in solidarity with you because what is happening in DRC is something that has been there for a very, very long time. And there are so many stories from so many angles. People forget that all truths are but half truths, which is a hermetic principle, I think, right? Yes, all truths are but half truths. So when you need to listen to so many sides of the story before you can come to a conclusion sometimes. But unfortunately, we forget that. Now, the Democratic Republic of Congo has gone through a lot, and the Berlin Conference in 1844 was actually also known as the Congo Conference, where King Leopold II of Belgium sat and took the land as his personal property when we were in our lands, right? Just carving out Africa for themselves and saying this is mine when we were in our own lands. And unfortunately, that has created a lot of problems across Africa. Most of these wars were out of the colonial borders that were drawn for us, not by us. Africa is one country. We considered Africa one land, one platonic plate, the mother of mankind, Al Kebula. But you see, this situation in Goma, which is eastern side of DRC, is something that wasn't or that was artificially what is it manufactured. So there are Tutsis on both sides. Some have been in DRC, just like Ghana. There are Asantis. I'm an Asanti. There are Asantis in Ivory Coast now. When they drew the line of Ghana, some of my brothers or my Asante brothers are in Ivory Coast now. So does that mean they are from Ghana? No. We had our lands, we had our own demographics, our kingdoms before all these. So this is what it has caused. And unfortunately, when we are talking about reparations, all of these things falls under reparations, right? Knowing that these are the reasons we are who we are now. And the past, the present, and the future, most of you see it as linear. No, it is now. What are we doing now as Africans? So we have Asantis in Ivory Coast. Just the same way we have Tutsis or Mulenges, if I'm mentioning it right, in DRC. Now, the M23 always listen to the narrative of the Westerners, and you know the opposite is the truth. I know Pan-Africanists around the world, we see beyond all everything they report. Now, the M23s were being cheered on by Congolese. And this thing they are talking about Rwanda backing, we've heard this over and over again. The black on black crime is a thing of the past. It's a thing of the past. So we know that what we need to do to secure Congo, the richest country in the world, is to unite this lovely continent called Al-Kibulan. Remember, the kingdom of Al-Kibulan is upon us. And Africa's unity. Our ancestors never thought of a day that we will unite this continent. But you and I, the youth of Africa, a day at a time, when we keep speaking about it, when we keep talking, communicating amongst ourselves, we will do it. It is a day at a time, and the time is now. Recently, now before I go on to any other thing, let me quote the great man himself, Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, and the eve of 6th of March 1957, when Ghana gained independence. He said the independence of Ghana is meaningless unless it is linked up to the total liberation of Africa. And we are in 2025, 68 years ago, these words still reverberate strongly around the continent of Africa. Now, recently, my father, John Dramani Mahama, I'm sending love. I'm sending, what else should I send to the humble man? I'm sending my humbleness. President John Dramani Mahama, come and work on me. Me, I'm here to serve Ghana, the ordained crown prince of Ghana and the falcon of Africa. I'm just like any other Ghanaian. We know why we are here, to make our country great and strong, because we understand that we are all involved in building our motherland. This is the land of Hemistress Majestis. This is the land of Osaje for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. This is the land of Okomfanoche, Togbe Charlie, and every great Ghanaian that has ever been here. So the youth of Ghana, I hope you can see the reforms and everything that is happening under the presidency of is there any word like presidency? Hey, whatever, man. I'm not an English person. You guys, you are even fortunate today I'm doing it in English because I want to get to a wider audience in Africa. Right. So I'm sending love to my father, John Dramani Mahama. Recently, he was at the AU reform, right, in Nairobi, Kenya. He spoke a lot. And you see, I love President John Dramani Mahama, and what he's doing means that the dreams are coming to pass. Africa's unity is upon us. Africa's unity is upon us. We can't implement the African Continental Free Trade Area if we can't work among and travel across the continent. We must unite this continent. It is about time. It is about time. Let me quote Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah once again. Now, he said, the forces that unite us is intrinsic and greater than the superimposed influences that keep us apart. If you're a Ghanaian listening to this, oh, every time I'm doing the show, then the time is 10001. 100, it's 10-1. 10-1, 5th February 2025. So the children or the youth of Africa that will come years after I am dead and gone, you remember this day, right? We need to unite our continent, and we are uniting it now. This generation of Africans in 2025, we are the ones that are uniting our continent. We are the ones. As Osajifo said, let me repeat it once again. He said the forces that unite us are intrinsic and greater than the superimposed influences that keep us apart. The requirement for being in the Pan-African Parliament needs reforming as well. President John Dramani Mahama. I think politicians shouldn't be allowed to invade spaces of Pan-Africanists and make it useless and toothless. Because if the Pan-African Parliament is working as the Pan-African Parliament, I think Africa will be united today. Because if the Pan-African Parliament is doing their job, and we can't do anything else when there are so much influences in our continent, whilst we don't even trade amongst each other. It is 20% or so. We don't trade amongst one another. We don't travel. We don't have direct flights amongst our nations. Come on, my brothers. Come on, my sisters of Africa. I said, and I've been saying this, and I want you to quote me on this every time. I have been asking the youth of Africa that what is the essence or what is the paramountcy of this mortal life, right? If you and I, knowing history, I'm not talking about their story, I'm talking about our own story that resides in our DNA, our story, knowing who we are. Why are we not the generation when we are sitting in private jets, cruising around the world on jet skis, scuba diving, skydiving, having the internet, video calling, what else? Using DeepSeek. Why are we not a generation? Why can't we be the generation that will build systems and legacies for our children and our children's children? I am Bediako-Poku. I am your ordained Crown Prince of Ghana, and I am your Falcon of Africa. As I said, me, I'm here. I am Venus. You've been seeing me parading through the skies. I'm bringing love to Mother Gaia, and I'm bringing love to every human being. As the Falcon of Africa, I am Shemsu Heru. Now, the Hemaket, what you people call the Sphinx. One day I will show you who I am there, right? I am consciousness. I am there. I am that I am. I am everything that there is and everything that there will be. That is why I've got my own symbol, which is the Edinkrahene symbol. I am greatness. So don't be afraid. The matrix have fallen. And Pan-Africanists around Africa, as I said, we need our own spaces. And I think if the Pan-African Parliament is working or really functioning, Africa will be united with one currency, one army, and the hell that is happening in Congo will be resolved today. Now, without due respect to South Africa, the Pan-African Parliament headquarters should be in Ghana. You know, when it comes to Pan-Africanism, we all agree Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was an inspiration to most Africans. This is the center of the world, Ghana. So I'm proposing that we build the Pan-African Parliament in Nkrofo in the Western region. And that is the birthplace of Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. And we need to build a thriving city around Nkrofo. Let us make it an industrial city with high technology and innovation, a clean city to honor the great man himself, Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Now, let me talk about geopolitics a bit and let us see whether we can wrap up very shortly. I've got so many things to do. Now, maybe Donald Trump is underestimating the power of the United States around the world. And today, as the Falcon of Africa, I'm stating it categorically to that old man. You see, the future we want to build as the youth of this world, these old men don't see it and they would rather stir the pot, create havoc when they know their lifetime is not more than 15 years. But you see, as the youth of Africa, you need to be sensible enough wherever you are globally to say enough is enough. This oligarchy and this capitalism needs to stop. The only thing holding white supremacy and all these things is capitalism. And the day we, as the collective, stop being capitalistic in our thinking and socialistic, scientific socialism, as Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah put it, the Pan-African system. When we see the world through a different lens, then we will make sure we create more. We won't destroy. We won't create atomic bombs. We will use them to regenerate the desert and make it green again. Donald Trump is underestimating the power of the United States around the world. You don't have monopoly over violence. You are lucky I came with love. I am a Taurus born on 24th April 1992. I intentionally tell you guys my date of birth so that your astrologists and your people can figure out who I am. You are lucky I came in love. So we will use love around the world. Love is the biggest, right? And when we have love for one another, we create, we don't destroy. We create, we don't destroy. And the US has been on a steady decline for the past 2 decades. They fast tracked that decline with what happened in Gaza recently. And their unwavering support for Israel. For 15 straight months, we watched on 4K when babies in incubators were called terrorists, whilst Anthony Blinken and Benjamin Netanyahu, Yoav Gallant, and everybody in the Biden administration walked around the world freely. We watched it. How can a population of 350 million, let's say, including all the people they are sending out of the United States now, 350 million population, what is 4.2% of this world population, have the right to disturb world peace? Why do you think they have the right to disturb world peace? Now, I am just 32 years of age. I'm just 32 years, right? But then I've seen the United States destroy Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, Libya, destroying the whole of Libya for one man. It's like me going right now to the United States and dragging Anthony Blinken from that place and then destroying the whole United States just for Anthony Blinken. How will you feel as an American? But yet, why do you think you have the audacity and then call your society a civilized one? No, the United States have been the world's terrorist since the end of the Cold War. Look at what they did in Kosovo, Yugoslavia. Show me a country or a continent they haven't destroyed. They use organizations like the United Nations, USA, to go around executing their evil plans. And you see, that is why they censor me a lot. I am being censored a lot. I am being called all forms of names. So me, when I know they call M23 a rebel group, I know they are freedom fighters fighting, just like what Captain Ibrahim Traore did for Burkina Faso. Maybe DR Congo is on the verge of capturing its identity back. The kingdom of Al Kebulan is upon us, and we as Africans, this is the time. The youth of Africa, arise, you youth of Africa. Our continent demands our devotion. Let us all unite to uphold her and make her great and strong. We are all involved. We are all involved in building this continent. We are all involved in building our continent. Right? So the United States is literally the parasite of this world, of the world, right? And ever since Donald Trump became president, he's doing the same things they've done over and over again. But unfortunately, what he's doing is worsening the case and the stance. We are in a multipolar world, and Ghana, we are non-aligned. As Asadi for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah said, we neither look right nor left, east nor west. We look forward. And President John Dramani Mahama, I know the man is going to walk in the footsteps of Asadi for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. As a matter of fact, I warned the whole of September. September is the beginning of the new year, if you don't know that. Right? But in Africa, April used to be 1st April. But enough of that. Let us talk about something. Now, as I said, Donald Trump came and he's been threatening everybody. Denmark is now pissed whatever is happening with Greenland, tariffs on Canada and Mexico, although they've come to an agreement, and Trudeau is the same thing they are offering anyway. Mexico and what is the name? Canada came to agreement recently. The Panama Canal. Now, we've been saying this for a long time, and people are now realizing it. When the United States is supporting you in something, it means he wants what is in your land. Now, when they supported Panama to gain independence from Colombia, Panama thought they were doing them a favor. Now, look at what they want with the Panama Canal. Look at what Donald Trump just said about Ukraine, telling Ukraine that their rare earth minerals in the land now will belong to the United States. Zelensky, congratulations. Congratulations for your own citizens. Just for the United States to come and pick what belongs to you. Such a clown. Such a clown. Now, Donald Trump, stop ordering strikes in anywhere in Africa. The strikes in Somalia, I have seen it. We are not going to tolerate this anymore. We are 1.6 billion people in Africa. 350 million. Now, what is democracy? If you think 350 million people can cause havoc to 1.6, come on. Come on. Now, Cyril Ramaphosa said something recently, and I thank him for saying that. Think about your United States and let us think about our Africa. We are uniting our continent, and this unity, our stories, we are now going to write it again. Arise! Arise, you 144,000, you number 9. It is time to co-create with Bediako-Poku, your ordained crown prince of Ghana and the Falcon of Africa. We are creating the kingdom of Al-Kibulan of power, abundance, prosperity, long life. Bring the synonyms. Happiness, joy. Bring the synonym of goodness. And let me create a world for you and I to live in peace. We are going back to when there were no thieves in Africa. And now the release of DeepSeek is supposed to teach these oligarchies and the United States a lesson. Now, whilst OpenAI and ChatGPT, Project Stargate said they are spending over 500 billion US dollars in infrastructure to build whatever thing they were doing. Now, OpenAI were there, the Project Stargate, OpenAI, SoftBank, Oracle, MGX were in partnership to build this thing until DeepSeek came and spent over just $6 million and did something that made OpenAI and ChatGPT look like ants in the echelons and evolution of artificial intelligence. It's so funny. Now, this Project Stargate itself, I think there was once a secret US military unit called Project Stargate, which was, I think, established in 1977, Maryland, right? Okay. It may be the same thing, oh. You people, me say Ghana for America, me say Mumbra or Minecraft Ghana. Come back and let us build the land of the kings and queens. Come back. Come back to this land. This is the land of the golden stew. I am the golden stew. I am the manifestation of the golden stew. I've told you I'm here. So the goal that is about to, we will stop mining for 7 years and focus on agriculture and all the basic necessities first. Then after that, after 7 years, when I tell you to go and mine, we will find gold in our backyards again. No, you will walk in your backyard and find the gold on the floor. Because I said I am the manifestation of the golden stew. What else should I say? I've told you who I am. I've given you my date of birth. I want you to know who I am. I am a Taurus and I am love. I am ruled by the planet Venus. And I told you 2025 is my year. I am the Alpha and the Omega. My numbers are 1 and 9. And my life path number is 4. And I'm bringing order to the universe. I'm bringing order to and love to the multiverse and wherever. Oh, man. Thank you so much for making time for me. As I said, DeepSeek is here, $6 million, and Nvidia lost over 593 billion the next day. People said, oh, Nvidia lost, and I'm like, oh no, BlackRock owns them, and they can get that money in their shipping company next time. They need to all they will do is raise the prices elsewhere. And that 593 billion. You guys, I said capitalism is the only thing holding imperialism and neo-colonization. You see, I was searching for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah wrote books. And I'm like, no, I won't write books. I will do videos. If Asajifo had camera and what is the name? Internet, I think this is what he would do. So I'm just walking in the footsteps of the great man. To me, he's like my Moses. Because if Moses brought whatever people from whatever land, the same concept he brought me out of and gave me this red, yellow, and green and the black star. I am a black star, you are a black star. The reason you don't know who you are is because you've forgotten the power that resides in you. Look for your own, go through your ancestry and find your strength, and let us build a land worthy for you and I. Now, DeepSeek, I think they also released another series of image processing AI models known as Genus Pro 7B, which use over 7 billion data to train the model. Come on, guys. I said, we will do it for free, and that one is also open source. Oh man. Now speaking about AI, do you know Israel own AI powered bot known as Fact Finder AI, which was developed to spread Israeli propaganda with what they are doing in Gaza, started accusing them of colonization, racism, and genocide. Oh man. Sometimes as the Falcon of Africa, when I see everything, nothing gets you. There is no matrix. No, you are not older than I am. My DNA is way older than any Caucasian, any Asian. I said I am. Come on. Sometimes I don't want to go deep into, but we are restoring law and order on Mother Gaia. And Donald Trump, please be careful, right? What you are doing, you don't have monopoly on violence. You don't have monopoly on violence at all. We are all here to experience the air, the earth, the fire, the ether, the plants, the women, the African women. I can't wait to start having my queens. Because of Pan-Africanism, I am not yet married, but you see, I will find my queen very soon. Honorable Okujetu Ablakwa, Charlie, I love you so much. Honorable Okujetu Ablakwa, no homo do, no fan, it's been a pleasure having you. Chichicha.